I'm going to find my button. When these dads meet world, watching Boy Meets World. We grew up on the show, now we have kids and host a podcast. We watch each episode and then share our thoughts and grades. When these dads meet world.
They want you to take the roles.
They do want you to take the roles. And in fact, take all the roles because you need some roles to get through this episode. I am dad number 1 this week, Tyler, and joined as always is dad number 2.
The Poop Smith himself, Brett.
Very nice.
Scooping
This is
lots of
Dad's
poop
Meet
this week.
World. We're your hosts. We take an episode of Boy Meets World every single week, and we get into it in the nitty gritty. Except for this week, Brett. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But Brett, how are you?
I am a little tired today. My day job, I work for the church, and today I spent my day running around following the bishop as he visited 5 different churches and talking to people all day long, taking photos, and it's not bad. It's just long and tiring.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah. So I'm just a little run down, but ready and raring for action. How are you, Tyler?
I'm doing good. I also just got back from a meeting. My wife and I were joking when I told her, hey, we're going to record tonight. She goes, okay. And I said, I tend to forget that on recording nights, because we're not doing anything, you tend to pass out as quickly as you can. It's either she sleeps on the couch or sleeps upstairs, and I got home and she was already sleeping. So I was like, you deserve this. We've been potty training, and the kids also don't want to sleep for some odd reason. It's midnight last night, and I'm holding one of them, holding the hand of the other one. I just need you two to fall asleep, that I'm passing out. And I think Sarah heard me through the monitor snoring, so she goes, okay, you go to bed now. And then they just fought us. But hey, knock on wood, potty training right this moment, not going half bad.
Woohoo!
Yes. Potty training one child is difficult. Potty training 2 children at the same time feels impossible.
I remember doing 1. I never had the distinct pleasure of doing 2 at one time.
Yes, so much fun. Brett, should we get into this episode?
I think we should. Let's dive right into the synopsis there.
Sounds good.
Good looking people, we are diving into the 11th episode. We're trucking right through of season 7, What a Drag, wherein Corey redecorates the apartment. Meanwhile, Eric and Jack pose as girls to hide from a goon on campus. This episode was written by Carlos Aragon, directed by Jodie Binstock. This is her last of 3 episodes that she directed. She also directed Resurrection and The Honeymoon is Over. Originally aired December 3rd, 1999, which is 2 weeks after our last episode. And it currently enjoys a 7.3 on IMDb, which is 0.2 lower than our last episode. And when it comes to the Nielsen numbers, our last episode pulled in a 10.10. This one takes a pretty rough tumble down to 8.41 million viewers.
And we never get it back.
We really don't. No. This is kind of the start of a slide for us.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure I was allowed to watch this episode when it aired.
I remember watching this one the first time it aired, and it was
Rough?
Yeah, that would be. It was even rough then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Brett, we're gonna get into this episode, but I'm gonna do a trial run for something else. I got something else going on in my brain for a different conversation later on down the road, and I want to try something for this episode, okay?
Okay.
Now, Brett, feel free at any point to say stop, and I will, but let's talk about this episode, shall we?
All right.
So today's episode of Boy Meets World, Eric and Jack are in the student union when another knockoff Harley Kiner breaks into the building. The student union's in trouble. Who will save the day? Well, Eric and Jack, of course. They call the cops. However, they didn't have the actual ranger because they called them early, even though they broke and entered without, cause. So the police let them go because they're bad at their jobs. Fearing for their lives, they turn to drag, of course. Luckily, Sean has some experience with drag, and so he helps them to find their feminine side. Well, mostly, Eric. Eric embraces the drag very well. Corey, at this point, is trying to get the house better, or as they refer to it, the apartment. Topanga walks in and stumbles onto Corey cheerfully singing about yellow, how it's his favorite color, because literally they have a Big Bird Big Bird cosplay is their apartment. It went from crap hole to Big Bird.
Oh, yes.
Corey's pumped and Topanga is worried. Knockoff Harley Kiner is looking for Eric and Jack because clearly he has to kill them. He finds Eric as drag very ugly, but Jack, for some odd reason, is quite hot. So, as you know, Brett, if a Matthews is in drag, clearly they're gross. If a Hunter is in drag, hubba hubba. Where did Corey get the money for renovations, Brett? Who cares? Topanga and Eric Schwarzenegger bond because they're trying to be supportive women and finding their power. Jack tricks Kiner into taking a picture, and he gives him his best Joey. How you doing? Of course, Brett, as we both know, if you're in the 90s, it's either quicksand or blackmail. So clearly, blackmail is the best answer, because where are you going to find quicksand in Philadelphia?
Of course.
Topanga goes back to their apartment to be supportive and to be a good wife, and stumbles onto the fact that, hey, Corey somehow saved the day, or he hired people to restore the apartment to making it look nice. The hallway still looks trashy. But Brett, we get to the tag, and we discover that Eric might actually like himself in drag, and he's considering sticking around with it.
Well, there's our episode.
That's our episode, Brett. Brett, can you play the soundbite of Corey or of Sandwich, Ben Sandwich, of what he says?
Oh man, we're doing this story again?
Yeah. We are literally redoing drag again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talked very openly, Brett, that the way that they actually handled drag, the purpose behind it, what they were doing it for in season 4 was actually appropriate. We gave it its kudos. We admitted to the fact that they made some jokes they shouldn't have made, but ultimately, we understood why high schoolers would do this. For 2 college adults to do this is just asinine. There is no reason to do it. It's dumb. They're literally rinsing and repeating a former storyline with now different actors. And also, just going to say it, Matthew Lawrence is a very handsome man. He was a very handsome man when the show was on, when the girls would go, ooh, anytime he'd do anything, justified. He is not a handsome woman.
No. No, he's not. Neither of these dudes is very attractive as a woman.
Yeah.
I keep thinking, when I look at Eric, the only thing I can think of is the Strong Bad email where he makes a children's book. And he's drawn like headgear on one of the girls, and he's like, Fran is a linebacker.
So yeah, from the fact that the cops didn't arrest them for breaking into the college.
Yeah, I mean, first of
building.
all, the school is trying to shut down a roving illegal rave, which, by the way, is another recycled plot line from season 3.
Yeah.
They
Rave
know
on.
who's running the illegal rave. They've got them cold on breaking and entering into the student union after hours with all the equipment to run an illegal rave. They've got them cold on breaking and entering. They've got them on intent. They've got them on previous counts.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for the cops to let them go.
Correct. Other than for plot.
Yes, other than plot. Which, by the way, IMDb time. Luther is played by Andrew Levitas. First and only appearance on Boy Meets World. 16 acting credits, including The Nanny, Party of Five, Psycho Beach Party. Here's a fun project. North Shore, Entourage, and more. And I wanted to share his because he's actually moved into producing and directing. But most interestingly, he's actually a professor at New York University currently.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I wanted to share Luther's IMDb there. Make sure we got that out there.
But Brett, Luther doesn't, like, the actor himself does not do a bad job. He just is given nothing.
Yeah, he's given thug material, and that's it.
Yes. He is literally another on top of another on top of another Harley Kiner knockoff.
Yeah, it's just plug and play thug. Here's a caricature to play. And by the way, your motivation is you've got to kill them, which, yeah, running around the campus and threatening to kill someone. Yeah, I don't think that'd go over well even in the 90s if campus security knows that you're roaming the campus trying to inflict harm upon students.
Right. And Brett, we've talked about this before with Gambling Dan. These people don't exist at college. They just don't. Like, sure, high school. I'm sure there are bad people at high schools back in the 80s who wore leather jackets, who were always threatening to beat people up, who were in gangs, who were Italian, because literally that's the description of every single controversial person in this show, including Sean, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wanted to know what bullied Michael Jacobs, because every single time there's a bully character, it's the same person.
Yeah, pretty much. Who hurt you, Michael Jacobs?
Yes, who hurt you? Listen, Brett, every single time there's someone in leather, they're either someone who emotionally hurts Corey, threatens to physically hurt Corey, or is his best friend who turns on him constantly.
I wonder if Michael Jacobs himself wore a leather jacket to walk around set on days where he'd hand out notes.
Maybe. But yeah, somebody must have hurt him. Also, Brett, one of my big complaints, and we'll get to the whole renovation talk later, because that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But it puts to note that Topanga, this feminist of feminists, who are always about, women are more than just their looks, women are more than just, what you see. She is pretty vain in this episode. Vain is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, she doesn't really look a whole lot beneath the surface of anything on this episode.
Yeah.
Whether it be their apartment, Corey's enthusiasm, or Eric.
Yeah, no, she does not look good this episode. She looks like, for lack of better wording, the classic nagging girlfriend / wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Eric and her have a moment, but it doesn't feel genuine because Topanga's not genuine.
No.
Although the advice, the one big thing I do love is that the advice Eric gives as this character is advice a brother would give to a sister-in-law.
Yeah, Eric's advice is actually good advice. It's sound advice. If it was coming from Eric as Eric, to Topanga, it would be 100% gold. But it's coming as Eric as shoot, what was his name?
Slavana.
Svetlana. Yeah. But as coming through his character, it's a little bit off.
Right.
You have your husband quirky.
I almost wish, Brett, for this season and the last 2 seasons, that Eric could have transitioned into becoming a wise sage. Like Goofy, absolutely. But like when he's with Corey and Sean and Topanga, like he can give them real life advice that they can't get from their professors. They can't get from their parents. And Eric can deliver in a way that means something to them.
Yeah, because I mean, it is 100% possible and happens a lot that you can be wise, you can have wisdom, you can have a level of smarts that go beyond what you would get from that would be divorced from street smarts. So Eric would be a goofball and get himself into trouble, but he would have this level of wisdom to him, this level of smarts to him that he'd still be able to spout off things that would impact those around him, even if he's doing dumb stuff because he just doesn't realize it. There'd be that disconnect there.
Yeah, but we need him to be a cartoon.
Yes, we do. That's
But
the
I mean,
only
honestly,
way.
Brett, in the course of this podcast, as we have talked through the show, how many times have we said, "Wow, that's great advice from Eric. Why doesn't Corey listen to him more often?"
Yeah, far too many times.
Brett, we both have had apartments. We both have owned homes. Anytime you've rented an apartment, have you ever been allowed to just paint every single surface one color?
I had one apartment I was given permission to paint in, and they did not give me any restrictions on what I was allowed to use. Mainly because the building was a hole, and I had worked out a deal with the guy who owned the building. He was in between management companies, but beyond that, no. Most apartments are pretty strict in what you can do to the walls.
Yeah. I've been
Painting
yelled
it
at by
with the
maintenance
same-
people from...
I gotta say, painting it with the same paint that they paint on the lines on the road would be highly, highly toxic. That's not paint for inside of a room.
No, I mean, I could get that it's like the color of, but still.
But Corey knows how to find a deal.
Yeah, he does. We always know he's good with money, as in he finds the cheapest options. I'd hate to take a vacation with him.
Cork World.
Yeah,
I do
this
wanna-
also...
I do wish we would have seen the apartment during the Cork World phase.
Right. But Brett, this is also a sign to me that the writers clearly have never been to a hardware store or had to redo a house, because why? Why are half these jokes here? They make no sense. Brett, yeah, let's just do it. The amount of work that would have been required to get the apartment not dirty to work on would have taken forever. Much longer than 2 individuals have to do. To get to the yellow, to revert the yellow to a reasonable color, still would have taken forever. And I know for a fact, Brett, that the technology for paint has come a long way.
Yes,
But
it has. You were
in the
still
90s,
using...
to go from that bright yellow to primer to
Yeah.
the light blue and the faux wood color that they have on there, that's not possible.
Plus the brand new appliances.
Yes, brand new appliances, a brand new couch.
Yeah, where is all of this money coming from?
Yep. Brett, let's throw it out there. Here's my conspiracy thought.
All right,
Um,
headcanon conspiracy time.
Reg. Reginald Fairfield.
Reginald Fairfield.
I believe he found out that Corey had gotten married, and someone owed Reg a favor, and Reg has Corey has always Reg has always owed Corey a favor, and so he took care of financing renovations and making sure it all could work out for Corey, and all he had to do was be there and tell them what
Makes
he
as
wanted.
much sense to me as anything else.
Yeah, because to go from what they had to this is impossible. Brett, I renovated my house the moment I bought it. I still have primer in multiple rooms not fully painted. I still have door frames that don't have any framing around it without any doors because we ran out of money. Money has to come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They had no money. Where did the money come from?
Oh, yeah.
The last 3 couches we've had over the last 3 years have all been free.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very nice couch.
Yeah, the only reason my office looks as nice as it does is because it's an insurance job, because the last time we had a pipe burst in here.
Yeah. I mean, heck, the table they have in there, it's the same table. They clearly cleaned it up and painted it, but that would still take a long time to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of fine detail work in this apartment that's been done, and there's no way Corey's done it by himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless Corey's bipolar and he's in a deeply manic episode.
It could be. I mean, the other thought, too, is like, how long is Topanga actually away from the apartment? Because from the episode, it looks like a day, maybe 2. But, like, the amount of work would have required for one person to do in that apartment would have taken him all week.
Yeah, from the language of the episode, we're talking a day. And I'm trying to remember if I did any screen caps from the episode
Don't worry.
yet. I usually do. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't do screen caps yet. But from the language of the episode, it's not. We're talking a couple of days at most.
Yeah. And Brett, Topanga could have been helping to make it go a little bit faster. That's the last thing I'm saying.
Yeah, she could have, but with the way with Corey's mission of wanting to surprise her every day of their lives, I don't think he would have let her.
Probably. Brett, if you have any final thoughts, I'm all good. I have nothing left to say at this moment.
I would award Mr. Feeney the MVP of the episode.
Because he wasn't in it.
No, he was in it. He had
Oh.
he had a couple of drive-by jokes when he calls Eric over when he first shows up in the student union. When Eric's afraid that Mr. Feeney's going to give him away, and he says, "What's to figure? He's pretty, and you look like a bison." And then muses to himself, double D's, just like your grades. And that's all we see of Mr. Feeney in this episode is
Fair.
those 2 jokes.
It was a couple of days ago I watched this episode, I won't lie.
Yeah, and I will say, in the midst of all of this, it is good to see Corey being excited to serve Topanga.
Yeah, absolutely.
We spend so much time ragging on Corey for being as self-absorbed as he can be.
Yeah.
You know, I can sit here and list off episode after episode after episode where we've ragged on him for being self-absorbed and needing Topanga to be what he wants her to be. But here we actually get a B plot where he is expending all of his energy to serve his bride.
Yep.
Now, granted, it's still a little bit selfish because he's painting the apartment yellow. He's such a happy fellow. hello. But at the same time, he does actually come around and realize what, through the magic of TV and the hyper real world of Boy Meets World, he realizes what she really wants and does that. But it is good to see, for a change, that he's seeking to serve her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all of my real insights, other than Jack really has to overcompensate after his girly adventure. This is how a man shoots pool. That's how a man walks.
Yeah. I love the uses of Angela in this episode.
Oh yeah, totally love the uses of Angela.
All right, you ready for some deep dives?
I am ready for some deep dives. Let me find my theme button here.
People. Am I the only one who read the summer reading list?
Well, Brett, the deep dives are as in depth as the script is in this episode, and that I get none. You recycle literal episodes. What could I possibly have to deep dive, Brett?
Fair enough.
Nothing. You get none. You lose. I drink your milkshake. Fair
enough. So then, let's talk about what we learned.
Yes, let's talk about what we learned.
You know anything about the Odyssey?
Huh?
Did I say you could talk?
I didn't teach you that.
My friend Mr. Matthews will lead the discussion.
Do I have to draw you a picture?
What did we learn this week? Well, I'm actually going to take a stab in the dark. Or not in the dark. I'll take an actual stab and pull a real lesson. Be honest with yourself and with your partner. Don't hide things, whether it's behind drag or behind closed doors. Talk to your partner if there's problems. There's my learning for the week. That and Jack and Eric make ugly women.
Yeah.
Tyler, what did you learn this week?
Well, I was going to jokingly say nothing. You lose. I drink your milkshake. I guess what the thing I learned, and it's a bit of a cop out, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's important to hug your inner child. It's important to tell your inner child the fears you had as a young person. It's okay. And it's important to confront some of the things when you were younger. When we have power and authority over people, it's important that we work out some of those things. And we don't cast blame towards other people and keep putting a shadow in front of everyone. Like, Brett, the biggest thing that stuck out to me is this: every time there's this sketchy character, it's the same person. So whoever this person is, truly, I'm not trying to make a joke here, just whoever truly has hurt, whoever keeps putting this person on screen, you gotta hug that person and tell them it's okay. Work through it.
Indeed.
So yeah.
All right. Well.
I'm right?
No, you're exactly right.
So am I done with my education? Can I go?
Tyler, how would you grade What a Drag?
You know, Brett, I'm going to give some advice that my professor once gave. We get the grade that we put the effort into. So it's an F.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah. It's going to be an F for me as well. I almost gave it a D- for Corey, but it's just not enough for me. It's not one that I seek out and rewatches. It's not one that, I mean, if I'm rewatching and I've got the disc in, or I'm letting it play on Disney Plus, I won't actively skip it necessarily, but I won't necessarily pay attention to it either.
Yeah, Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing too. And there is material within here for a great episode. That's what's the shame.
Yeah, this needed a lot more time to bake, and it needed a much better guiding hand. And for Jodie Binstock's final episode, it's sad to see her go out on a thud.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other 2 episodes she wrote were pretty solid.
Yeah, for her as a director.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Resurrection and The Honeymoon is Over, those were not bad episodes at all.
No.
So to see her last directorial performance with Boy Meets World being this one, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Tyler, you got some dad jokes for me before we blow this pop stand?
Yeah. Brett, how do bees get to school?
I don't know. How do bees get to school?
By school buzz. How do you get Pikachu on a bus?
How?
You Pokemon. And Brett, what is the hardest thing about learning to ride a bicycle?
What is it?
The road.
Sounds good.
That is our dad jokes. Brought to you by the Dad Joke Book.
Well, good-looking people, thanks for sticking around for our short episode this week.
Yes, come back for more
Yes.
mini episodes.
You can reach out to us if you think that we were overly harsh on this episode. Let us know. We're on social media at dadsmeetworld across Instagram, Twitter /X, and Facebook. We're also on YouTube at dadsmeetworld if you're not watching us there already. And you can send us an email at dadsmeetworld@gmail.com. And you can leave us a review and a rating, however you do that, wherever you get your podcasts. That helps us rise in the algorithms, and it's the best and free way to help spread the dad love. So, until next time, we'll see you, good looking.
Back to you, good looking.
You know, how can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid? Honeymoon! Underpants. Ow, that hot.
This is good TV.
I want to be normal, son. Let me touch something.
Dads Meet World is a production of Headfirst Studios. Headfirst Studios, tell your story.